So when you install a child seat, whether it's with the belt, which is what it is in this case, or if you use the lower anchors, I don't know if you know what the lower anchors are. Okay. You always want to test the tightness by trying to tug it side to side. You see how I cannot really tug it? I mean, I'm not trying to rip it out of the car, but you want it to move less than an inch. And you need to make sure that, in this case, it's a forward-facing seat. The incline of the rear seating area of it is not as critical as when it's a rear-facing seat. But the criteria is the same for installation on rear-facing and forward-facing, less than an inch of movement. I don't have a dowel inside the seat. There's lots of the criteria are based on the restraint of the child. This seat also has a top tether, and the vehicle has a top tether anchor, so it is tethered to the anchor, so that you don't have any head movement. That helps limit the head excursion.
What would you say are the most common common mistakes as far as installing?
Yeah, a lot of common misuses. There's degrees of misuse as well. There's gross misuse and there's minor misuse. A gross misuse would be installing it too loosely, so not meeting the criteria, installing in the wrong direction for the child seat. Regarding the harness, the harness may be in the wrong slots, so it's important when they're rear-facing that the slots be below the shoulders, when it's forward-facing that they be above. Other misuses can include not attaching the top tether to the anchor. I've had some people come in for an inspection and they've actually taken, there's straps that are for the lower anchors that are in the seat bight, but I've seen them attached through the seat bight to a tether anchor. Yeah, some people have done that, grandparents especially. Usually the errors are because nobody reads the owner's manuals. It's very important to read the owner's manual for the vehicle and the child seat, and to use them together to see where do they talk about the same subject and where do they not discuss it, where they have prohibitions, etc. So that's really critical. And the best child seat inspections that I have are when the parents have actually read their owner guide. You find the least amount of mistakes in those instances.
So would you recommend all new parents that are getting car seats for their new kids go through one of those meetup, and they're held around, I think I've seen their national, where you can find...
Yeah, you can go on the internet. There's various different websites. You can go through Safe Kids. You can go through the NHTSA website to locate a child seat technician. And there's about 30,000 plus of us across the United States, and we always do it for free.
For free.
Yep. And definitely recommend it, not the night before you're due, because it's something that you really need to understand, and because you want to be able to educate your family members as well, your parents, which are the grandparents, any caregivers, because even though no matter how hard someone decides that they're going to never remove their seat from their vehicle, because once it's installed, they're like, oh, I'm not removing it again. You're going to have to, and you're going to be in situations where you're in a bind and you have to move it from one vehicle to another. So it's really important to understand how to properly install it and to convey that to others. So when I do an inspection, I don't just tell people what to do, and I show them, they do it, and I also explain why the criteria I'm explaining is important, so you understand the concept behind it, so you remember it better. Someone may say to you, why do I have to do that? I don't know, she told me to. That doesn't really gain anything. So if you've learned why, then it's a better tool for educating.